Imagine waking up one day, free from every heartbreak, every painful memory. A clean slate, a spotless mind. Sounds perfect, until you realize the memories you erased were the very ones that made you human. Keep watching, because what happens next will challenge how you think about love, loss, and who you really are. What if you could erase someone from your mind completely? That single, haunting question sits at the heart of a story that explores the fragile beauty of human connection. A story that reminds us how even our most painful memories shape who we become.
What if you could erase someone from your mind completely? Well, this single haunting question sits at the very core of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a film that gently takes our hand and leads us into messy, beautiful, often painful landscape of human connection. It explores the profound idea that our memories, even the most agonizing ones, are the essential threads that weave the fabric of our identity.
The film serves as a poignant and poetic meditation on love loss, the radical choice to forget, ultimately arguing that our experiences, both joyous, sorrowful, are too precious to be discarded, for they are what make us who we are. This story is not a simple romance, nor is it a straightforward science fiction tale. Instead, it operates in the delicate space between a dream and reality, where the logic of the heart overrules the logic of the mind. It examines what happens when technology offers a seemingly perfect solution to the universal ache of a broken heart. We are invited to follow two people who try to surgically remove their shared past, only to discover that the ghosts of love are not so easily banished. The film suggests that the desire to live a life free of pain might lead to a life free of meaning, a spotless mind, but an empty soul. The film introduces us to Joel Barish, a man whose life is painted in shades of gray. He is shy, introverted, and utterly bound by the comfort of his daily routines. His world is a predictable loop of commuting to a nondescript job and returning to an empty apartment, a quiet existence devoid of spontaneity or surprise. On a whim, driven by an impulse he cannot explain, he skips work on a bleak Valentine's Day and takes a train to the desolate winter shores of Montauk. It is on this cold, windswept beach that his predictable world is irrevocably shattered by a splash of brilliant color, a woman with startlingly blue hair. This woman is Clementine Krusinski, and she is everything Joel is not. She is impulsive, fiercely honest, and unapologetically vibrant, wearing her emotions as openly as she wears her ever-changing hair colors. Her personality is a whirlwind of chaotic energy that both unnerves and fascinates the timid Joel. Their initial encounter is awkward and tentative, filled with the fumbling, uncertain dialogue of two strangers trying to find common ground. Yet beneath the surface of their clumsy conversation, a spark of undeniable connection flickers, a strange sense of familiarity that neither of them can quite place or comprehend. Their relationship blossoms from this strange meeting, evolving into a love that is both deeply authentic and fraught with challenges. Lying on a frozen river, staring at the stars, sharing secrets in a cluttered apartment, finding comfort in each other's presence. Clementine pulls Joel out of his shell, introducing him to a world of impulsiveness and emotional intensity he never knew. In turn, Joel provides Clementine with a quiet stability, a calm anchor in the storm of her own feelings. Their love feels real because it is imperfect, a dance of opposing forces. However, as with many intense romances, the very qualities that drew them together eventually begin to tear them apart. Joel's need for quiet and order clashes with Clementine's chaotic emotional landscape. Their small disagreements escalate into painful, wounding fights, leaving both of them feeling misunderstood and isolated. The vibrant connection they once shared begins to fray under the weight of their differences, leading to a bitter and heart-wrenching breakup. It is this profound sense of loss and despair that sets the stage for the film's central, desperate act, the decision to erase it all. In the desolate aftermath of their breakup, Joel discovers something that sends a shockwave through his already fragile emotional state. He learns from his friends that Clementine has undergone a radical medical procedure to have every single memory of him erased. To her, he's now a complete stranger. The clinic responsible for this service is Lacuna Inca, a small, unassuming operation run by Dr. Howard Merzviak. The name Lacuna, meaning a gap or a missing part, creates a void where a painful memory once resided. Feeling utterly devastated and betrayed, Joel is consumed by grief and anger. He sees her choice as a negation of their shared history, as if their love meant nothing. In a desperate spiral of pain, he decides to fight fire with fire. He makes an appointment at Lacuna, determined to undergo the same procedure. He believes erasing the source of his pain will return him to who he was before. The memory erasure process is clinical and strangely intimate. It begins with Joel gathering every object that reminds him of Clementine: photographs, gifts, ticket stubs, random trinkets, and bringing them to the clinic. These items become a physical map for the technicians to trace the neural pathways tied to his memories. The main procedure happens while Joel sleeps in his own bed. Technicians monitor from a laptop. The setup looks quiet and seamless, tangled tapes and a helmet-like device among the equipment. It's meant to leave the patient waking at peace, unaware of what's gone. But the film shows the mind is not a neat filing cabinet. As the technicians, Stan Patrick, begin their work, the process proves far more complex and unpredictable. Their casual, unprofessional behavior contrasts with the profound neurological and emotional event inside Joel. Once the procedure begins, the film plunges us directly into the labyrinth of Joel's subconscious. We are no longer passive observers, but active participants in his frantic journey through the past. The narrative structure shifts dramatically, moving backward into time as the technicians erase his memories, starting with the most recent bitter moments and working their way back to the very beginning. Each memory is a distinct scene, a room in the architecture of his mind, systematically dismantled and carted away. We witness the raw pain of their final fight, the quiet resentment of their relationship's decline, the slow erosion of their once vibrant connection. At first, Joel is a willing participant in this mental demolition. He relives the painful arguments. He feels deep disappointment, reaffirming his decision to forget. He wants these hurtful moments gone, but as the erasure continues and moves deeper into their shared history, something inside him begins to shift. He revisits tender memories, joyful memories. Moments of quiet intimacy, shared laughter, profound connection. He remembers the magic of their first meeting, the warmth of their early days together. A powerful sense of regret begins to overwhelm him. The realization sparks a desperate rebellion within his mind. The sleeping Joel becomes an active protagonist in his dreamscape, fighting the erasure process. He races against the technicians trying to salvage Clementine. He pulls her from their shared past and hides her where she doesn't belong. Memories from his childhood, moments of deep-seated humiliation, random forgotten corners of his mind. The struggle is surreal and breathtaking, characters disappearing, the very fabric of reality unraveling as he fights to hold on. This journey through Joel's mind is the emotional core of the film. It shows that a person is not a single entity, but a collection of moments, good and bad. As Joel fights to protect his memories of Clementine, he fights to preserve a part of himself. He realizes too late that erasing her erases the growth, the joy, the transformation she brought. The pain of her absence is real, but a void where she once was is infinitely more terrifying. Joel Barish, played with remarkable restraint by Jim Carrey, is the quiet center of the film's emotional storm. He finds safety in the predictable, the mundane. Before Clementine, his life is a muted palette of routine. Solitude, a carefully constructed fortress against the messiness of the world. He is not unhappy, but not fully alive. He observes more than he participates. Interactions marked by awkwardness and social anxiety. His choice to erase memories is born from a desire for control, to restore the orderly painless quiet he had before everything changed. Clementine Krasinski, in a fiery, vulnerable performance by Kate Winslet, is the force of nature that collides with Joel's quiet world. She is impulsive and emotionally honest. Her hair, Blue Ruin Agent Orange, signals shifting moods and a restless spirit. She fears being boring and constantly seeks new experiences to feel alive. Her spontaneity thrills, but it hides deep insecurity and fear of being truly seen, then abandoned. Clementine is complex, not a trope, but a person with real pain. The dynamic between them is the film's heart. Opposites attract. Each gives the other what they need. Clementine brings color, risk, vitality to Joel's monochrome life, pushing him to step outside his comfort zone. Joel gives stability, acceptance, like a quiet, non-judgmental space. Their best moments are synergy, balance, like they find missing pieces of themselves in one another. But those same traits cause friction. Joel's quiet becomes passivity to her. Her intensity overwhelms him. He wants peace, she wants passion, and they can't bridge that gap. Their arcs are tied to this conflict. Joel learns a life without pain is a life without love. The visual and narrative style is as essential to its meaning as the story itself. Director Michel Gondry, known for inventive, surreal music videos, employs practical, in-camera effects to make a world that feels palpably like a dream. He avoids slick digital effects and favors clever, handcrafted illusions, giving the film a tangible, almost childlike sense of wonder. Scenes seamlessly blend, locations change in a blink, characters vanish from a room as if they were never there. This visual language captures the fluid, unreliable, and often bizarre nature of the mind. The editing by Valdis Óskarsdóttir shapes our experience. The film's non-linear structure jumps backward through Joel's memories and is initially disorienting.
The music of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, composed by Jon Brion, is not merely a background accompaniment, but an essential character in the film. The score acts as an emotional guide navigating the complex terrain of Joel's mind and articulating feelings that words cannot express. Brion's compositions are a delicate blend of simple piano melodies, warm synth textures, subtle electronic loops. The music often feels like a memory itself, cyclical, slightly melancholic, imbued with a powerful sense of nostalgia. It perfectly captures the bittersweet feeling of looking back on a love that has ended. Throughout the film, the score adapts to mirror the shifting moods and landscapes of Joel's subconscious. During the initial scenes of Joel's lonely existence, the music is sparse and understated, often featuring a solitary, contemplative piano.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind begins with a simple, alluring premise, the ability to erase our pain. Yet, as it guides us through the tangled corridors of Joel Barish's mind, it reveals a far more complex and profound truth. The film is not just a story about a broken relationship, it is a deeply moving testament to the indispensable nature of our memories. It argues with a gentle but firm conviction that our experiences in all their messy, imperfect, and painful glory are the very things that make us whole. To erase a person from our minds is to erase the lessons they taught us, the joy they brought us, and the person we became because of them. Through its innovative style and heartfelt storytelling, the film demonstrates that love and pain are two sides of the same coin. The grief Joel feels is a direct measure of the love he shared with Clementine. His desperate journey to save his memories is a powerful realization that the beauty of their time together is worth the agony of its ending. The film suggests that a spotless mind is not a state of peace, but a state of emptiness. And perhaps the bravest choice of all is not to forget, but to remember and to choose to love again anyway, with full knowledge of the risks.